If you're watching this video, it will mean you're a beginner who has little to no knowledge on how to design using Canva. Not to worry, this detailed tutorial will show you everything you need to know about designing with Canva as a beginner. Either you're using your phone, your desktop, whatever device you are using. So get ready, as this is going to be a long, interesting ride. So let's get right into Canva. When you log on to Canva for the first time, this is how it is going to be. So this is the dashboard, and what you want to do is log in if you have an account, and if you don't, you need to click the sign up button. So it gives you options to either continue with Google, which is signing up with your Google account, signing up with your Facebook account, or having to use a new email. That's your email address without having to link your Google or your Facebook account. Or you could choose to continue any other way that is set in this manner. You can choose to continue with your Apple ID and all of that. So for this, let's do Google. Now, this is what it looks like. You're a new user, you have not used Canva before. This is how your dashboard will look like. So it's asking here, what will you be using Canva for? Are you a company, student, small business, teacher, non-profit, personal use? Now, in case you didn't know, if you have a non-profit, you can actually access Canva Pro for free. So for this, we use personal, and it has the opportunity to, give you a 30 days free plan. So as you can see here, where you can try Canva Pro for free for 30 days. So I will just click maybe later because I already have a pro plan on my other account. But for you, you can choose to start your free trial for 30 days. So I'll just click maybe later, and you can see the whole confetti welcoming you to the Canva family and all of that. So this is how your Canva dashboard looks like. I'll be explaining the dashboard for you so it is easy for you to understand. Now, this is the home page, and this is the Magic Studio. Magic Studio is where you have all of the remove background feature, the magic design, magic grab, and all of that. You know what, we'll get into all of that later. This is where your project will be stored. You can now decide to create a design, create folders, and all of that. I always like to create folders because it gives you the opportunity to store your designs in one place so that they are not all over the place. Here is where you have templates. Canva has lots of amazing templates that you can pick from. Here is where you have to search for the template. Now let's go back home and continue explaining everything. Here is where you have your brand kit. So if you have your brand kit, your brand template, and all of that, this is where you have to input it. Here is where you have access to Canva apps. Canva has lots of amazing apps that you can use. We'll get into all of that. Now let's go on to the home page again. Here is where you have your document. This is the document tab. Here you can create any document. There are lots of templates you can pick from. You can create invoices, your CVs, and all of that. Here is the whiteboard. So you're brainstorming with your colleagues or your friends, and you need a whiteboard to have all of your ideas in. That is what you can use. Here is for the presentation. Here is for social media, which is what a lot of people use Canva for. Here is when you want to record videos. So this is for the video template. You can actually record a video in Canva. I'm going to make a separate tutorial explaining a beginner guide to recording videos and editing videos in Canva. This tab is when you want to create your website, and there are more things you can do with Canva, as you can see here. Now, moving on, here is for custom size. Say, for example, you have your own dimension that you want to use. Say we want to use an Instagram dimension, right? So you could just say Instagram dimension is 1080. You can see that it has already brought out the Instagram dimension. So Instagram has two dimensions. It is 1080 by 1080, 1080 by 1350, and it has the Reels dimension, which is 1080 by 1920. So for example, you have your own dimension. You can put the width, the height, the pixels, all of that here. Here you can upload your own images. Here is where you have the design spotlight and all of that. Here, the businesses and all of that. Everything you can do for your business and with the Canva business. Here is if you're an educator, this is where you find helpful. You can see here, you can create and collaborate visually in classrooms. and every other thing that you can do here. Here is where you have the pricing. So the pricing for the free plan, the pro plan, the teams, enterprises, non-profit. You can see here it says not for profit. Canva Pro is free for all registered non-profit users. So if you have a non-profit, Canva Pro is free for you. So here is where you can learn. Canva has, a lot of resources here that you can learn with. So now let's go on to our templates. In our template, you have lots of amazing options. To be very honest, I do not know why people do not like to use templates. Templates save you a lot of time. What you can do with templates is to make sure you mix and match them so that you're not using the same template as everyone else. So now there are lots of different templates. See, there are templates for your Instagram posts. You can see lots of beautiful ones. There are video templates, flyer templates, and all of that. You can see resume template, poster template, and all. So for this video, we'll be using the Instagram post template. So let's go to an Instagram post and click see all. Now you can see the different types of Instagram posts. So you can see the Instagram normal feed posts, Instagram stories, Instagram reels, Facebook posts, and all of that. Here you can create a filter and filter the search, or how do you want the style to be, modern, minimalist, and all of that. You can do that here. Here you set the formatting and all of that. So for this, let's create a blank post. This is your dashboard as a first-time user. So here you can start with a template. It's giving you a tour. Remember, we are just opening Canva for the first time. So there's a whole tour showing us, how Canva works, but I'll just skip this. And so let me explain all of this to you. This is where you have your template. This is where you have your elements. This is where you have your text. This is where your brand assets will be located. This is where you have your media. So you can upload images, videos, and even audios. And you can also record yourself. If you don't know how to do this, I have a video where you can watch it. Here, you can use the draw tool. So there are lots of draw tools here you can use. Here is where you can save your projects and you can also access them. Here is where you can access all of the amazing apps that Canva has to offer. So let's get into the design dashboard. Here is where you have your file. You can choose to create a design here, import your files, and go on to settings. Here you can show your rulers and guides like this. That way it guides your designs, and you can choose to go back to turn it off. So here is where your folder, you can make a copy, download. You could even look through version history, but this is for only Canva Pro users. So here you can view or comment, find and replace, and lots more. This option allows you to resize your design. Say, for example, you're creating an Instagram post that you want to also make an Instagram reel. Just come on here, but it's only available to Canva Pro users. And an easy way you can use Canva Pro is to try it free for 30 days. Then if you see it is something you need, you can then pay for it. This is where you can duplicate your page and add a new page. So I will just click a T on my keyboard. So when you click T on your keyboard, this is a shortcut, your text comes up. So this is the text right now. And you can see that once I put my text, we have the font here. This is called the font. And this is the font size. And this is where you can change the text color. Here you can make the text bold. Here you can make it italics. Here you can simply underline your text. Here you can strike through. Here you can make the text all in capital letter. Here you can align it, center, left, right, and all of that. Here you can add bullet points. Here you can add bullet points and you can number and all of that. Here you can add spacing. So letter spacing, do you want it to be together like this or, far apart? Depends on what you're designing. Here you can add line spacing. So that is the height. So here is where you have your effect. So there are different text. Let's take this out. Here there are different text effects. There's the shadow text. So let me increase this. There's the shadow text. There's the lift text, and you can increase the intensity or reduce the intensity. Let's go back to shadow. So with shadow here, you can play around with the offset. You can play around with the direction. make sure that everything is smooth. You can also choose to blur. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. And you can choose to increase the transparency or not. You can also choose to change the color. So let's change this color. So what we are doing is visible. So for the transparency, you can see that it is now more transparent. I'll change the direction. Can see this here. Yes. So go to holo. This is the holo effect. And this is how it works. This is the splice effect. See how it works here. You can change the color here. So let's use a pink color too. Go back to the splice. Then I want to use the pink color. And you can play around with the thickness, offset, and everything. Make sure they are beautiful. This is beautifully done. You can choose to add an outline to your text. And this outline, you can change the outline color too. So you can see it just gives it more, makes it more prominent. So it depends on what you're also trying to achieve. This is the neon effect. And this is you trying to add background if you want to add a background to your text. And you can also choose to make your text curve. So you can see this is a curved text option. Just like this. So let's go back and take this out. Go to effect. And I will just click on none. Then for this, I will click on none. So here as well, you can also choose to, animate your text. So here there are different text options. You can choose to, animate the page. So how do you want to animate the page? Simple, seal, sleek, fun. There are different animation options that you can pick from. So here you can choose to animate the text. There are different options as you can see. There's the rise option. And if you have Canva Pro, you can adjust the speed and the direction. There's the pan option, there's the fade option, but you can only adjust the settings of these ones if you use Canva Pro. And to access Canva Pro, you simply can do that for free for 30 days. Then there is the pop option, there's the wipe option, the blur option, there's the succession, there's the tonic. There are lots of different options to actually pick from. Here is the position. So you can choose to, change the position of your text. Say, for example, we have an image. So to search for an image, just go onto your elements. So let's say I want to search for a woman that is smiling. So I could say happy woman. So here you can access the graphics, only graphic options. You can see there are lots of beautiful graphic options. The options with the crown are for only Canva Pro users. And then let's go to the photos and look for options without the crown, since we're using Canva free version. So here you can go to filter and then filter your options, your search results, either based on orientation, the color, you want it animated, static, and all of that. So for this, I want the options without the crown. So I'm still looking for an option to use. So let's say we want to use, okay, so let's use this option and say, for example, this is how we have it. We're still going to create a design. I'm just trying to explain how this dashboard is. So let's say this is our text now, right? And you want to move this text maybe backwards. All you have to do is go to position and you can move it backward just like that or to front. Another thing you can do is you can align to page and you can also move it through the layers easily like this. So just, moving things around like this without having to, arrange and all of that. So that is how this works. And you can choose to reduce or increase the transparency. This is for transparency. You click more, you can choose to lock it. So I always like to lock my designs if I'm doing a lot of designs. Say, for example, there's a lot of background design and I don't want this text moving. You can see now that no matter what I do, this text will not move. That is because, I have locked it. So now let us design an Instagram or a social media post from scratch. So let's create our first design, and this time around we're designing for an Instagram page, a social media post. So you want to click create a design, and then here you would see all of the dimensions. So like I already said, we are creating an Instagram post from the scratch. So I'm just going to select Instagram post, and now this is your plain dashboard, which is what we are going to be working with. So first thing here, I want to change the background color. Now, to be able to do this, you need to click on the page like this. Once you click on the page, you click this color wheel here, and you can change your background color. There are lots of different colors available. There are solid colors and there are gradient colors. Gradient colors are basically two-tone, three-tone colors, as you can see here. So let's work with a solid color. So you can actually type the color or the color code here. So here I'm searching for green. I want to have a green background. So let's use this. And this is what we have. You can see that there are actually different shades of green. Say for example, you want to use this green, but you don't think this is the exact thing you want. You can click on this color wheel here and just, drag it like this to edit. Or there's a color picker here. You can pick a color from any design and just paste it on it. So let's go back to our green color. Here you can also choose a gradient from the color you have picked. So you can see that there are different gradient options based on the color that you have here. But like I already said, I'll be using solid colors. So let's go to the solid color and go back to pick the green. This is the green that I want to work with. Next thing I want to do is to add a shape. So I'll go on to my element. Here you can search for the shapes, or you can just easily, go onto shapes here and you will see all of the shapes. You can create your own. There are sticker options, videos, and all of that. So for this, I want to use a circle shape. So you just select circle. And I want to use a circle shape that has a space like this. So now I want to change the color of this, because you can see that we cannot use a green background and a black color. That is because the both colors are dark colors and you need something to pop in the design. So we're going to change the color of this circle. So here you can edit this image, and these are all of the options, but these options are only available to Canva Pro users. So there's the remove background, background eraser, magic graph, and all of these options. I'll get into it. So what I want to do here, like I already said, is to change this color to a lighter shade of green. So I'll go back and search for my green and then use a lighter shade. Yeah, I think this works. This works. Yes, this works. Then I want to go back to my element. Let me show you something. You can click here and you can choose to flip this around. You can choose to, change the color. You can choose to add border lines to it, animate it, and all of this. We'll get into all of that. So what we want to do now, I want to add an image. I'll go to element and search for the image. So I want an image of a woman holding her phone. So I'll just search for woman holding phone. And you can see there are graphic option, photo option, video options, and all of this. But for this, I'll be using the photo option. So I'm looking for an option that is free for the free users. And you can see that there are lots of limitations here, which is why it is good to use the Pro version. So let's try to use the Canva Pro version. So I'll just click start my free trial. And you can see here that the yearly plan is 23,900 if you are a Nigerian user, and it is 2,800 monthly. I always like to go for the yearly plan because it gives you a lot of value for your money. See here, you can save 9,700 by using the yearly plan. And again, if you're in Nigeria, you know that there's always fluctuation in the exchange rate. So this saves you and it shields you a bit from that. So say you have to choose a plan. So let's just say monthly plan. And here you need to put in your card details and all of that. So since I already have an account, let us migrate to my Pro account. Now this is what the Pro account looks like. Let's now go to element and search for the image. So we want to search for woman holding phone. So I'm trying to see the best option to use and the one that will also pop in the design. So here you can filter your search. Say for example, we want the one that has a green background, or an image that has a green cloth and all of that. You can filter your search based on color. So I want to look for one that she's wearing white. Let's use this one. And there are also other options, or we can also use this. The problem with this image is if you use an image like this, so let's remove the background. This remove background feature is only available to Canva Pro users. So if you use an image like this, you can see that it is just blending in with the background and it's not really popping out. So I want to look for an image that has a brighter green. We can use this. So go to remove background. This helps you remove the background of your subject. So I've just increased the size. Let me take this out. So once you click on your image, let's say you can see that it is facing the opposite direction. So let's fix that. Just click on flip and click horizontal. Now it is facing the direction we want it to face. So this is the direction we want her to face, but there's a problem with this image. The image is currently taking a lot of space. So you can see that there is no place for us to place our text. So that image cannot work. So let us use this image of this woman here. Before you choose an image, make sure that you know the design you want to create. Don't just choose an image because this image looks good. It has to align with the design you are choosing. For example, you cannot be creating a post about cats, for example, and be putting an image that doesn't speak to cats or that doesn't align with the design that you're creating. So your design has to inform your image that you are using. Let's still search for another image. I want the one that she is facing the other direction. Looking for images is one of the biggest time consumers, one of the greatest time consumers. So let's remove this filter and if we'd see one that works perfectly. So this one works. You can use this. I will just go to background remover. Now, although this works, you can see that the color of her shirt here is an issue. Let's just keep searching a bit. If we do not find, then we'll use the first option. Okay, so here you can just undo. And then let's use this option we have. So let us now spice up our background. I always like to spice up my background because you can see that the background is just plain. So to do that, you can search for green. There are different things you can use to spice up your backgrounds and give your background some character. I like to add some green. So this is the green. And you can see that it immediately changed how the background looks like, just like in with photos also. Position, then you move to back like this. And if you don't want to do that, you can go to position, go to layers and just, move it around like that. So now it is behind. Next thing I want to do is to lock it so that if I'm making any change, this will not move. Click on this, then click these two buttons here, then click lock. To lock, you can only lock the position or you can choose to lock it entirely. So I want to choose to lock it entirely. You can see that it's not moving. That is because it has been locked. So now let's quickly add our text. I will click T on my keyboard. Once you click T on your keyboard, it brings out a text. Then here you can change your font color. So say I want to use white because white is the best color that works here. You could just write anything. Now, this is a bad design, right? Because first off, the text is not well aligned. You can't just put a text centralized like this, right? You need to make sure your text is well aligned. So click on your text and this is where you can fix alignment. So you can choose to align it to the right, which is what we're going to do, to the left like this. So you can see that it looks way better like this. Although this doesn't look bad, we can still fix it. How can we do that? We can change the font. This font is not the perfect font to use for this design. So there is where you can change font, and we could check for different fonts that matches what we are going for. This font doesn't work. So I will just use this Poppins font. And fonts come in different types of family. They come in thin, extra light, light, regular, and all of that. So for this, I will use semi-bold, and you can use extra light and all. So you can choose to also, fix this from here. Say, for example, I want to reduce the spacing here. I will come on here, spacing, and reduce the line spacing. You can see it here. Say you want to increase the text space, letter spacing, and all of that. But this is fine. So I want to make sure that all of my first letter is in caps. So I just want to fix it here to wellness. So the next thing you want to do is you can choose to, have your designs in all caps too. Just come here and everything is in all caps without having to go to your keyboard. So what I want to do, I want to give emphasis to one word here, and the word here is wellness. So you can just double click it and tap and click here. And you can see that it is bold. So this is a very basic, Instagram post. So I'm saying start your journey to wellness. Okay, so when do you want me to do that? Let's add a call to action. So just click T on your keyboard. I want to lock this so that it doesn't move around. So click here and then click lock, then lock. You can see that it's not movable. So next thing I want to do here, I just want to change the text here, and I want to say maybe visit our website, or maybe start your journey to wellness today, right? And I want to emphasize the today. So instead of just leaving it today like this, one thing we could do, click R on your keyboard and use a shape, and you can reduce the shape like this. Now to change the shape type, just click on shape here, and there are different options. I like to use this option. Or say start your wellness journey today instead of to wellness. So start your wellness journey. So I want to make this normal. So it just says start your wellness journey today. Let's make it all like this. Then I'll increase the size. Then this, I'll move this down. So maybe this is a carousel and we want to say swipe to know more or swipe for more. So I will just write swipe for more. I hope you are getting this clearly. And I want to change this color to one that aligns. So let's use a light green. So this color. And when you are designing, you want to make sure you're not using a lot of colors, because they are, so that they will not be all over the place. It depends. If what you're designing is meant to be colorful, then you can do that, but stick to a certain number of colors. So I want to unlock this and move this. So you have to stick to a certain number of colors, and also you can also make sure that you do not use a lot of fonts, because imagine we use one font here. Let me show you something. If we use this font here and we come again and say maybe in this, instead of using this Poppins, we use another Britney font or something that is not, maybe for example a Comic Sans, right? There's no reason we should use a Comic Sans here, because this, it doesn't just align with the design. So or maybe for example, we come on here and use a font like a display font, right? You can see that there's no reason why we need to use this. So when you're designing, make sure that you use over like 2 fonts. You can stick to 2 fonts, stick to maximum 3 fonts. And also try to make sure that the fonts you are using, they are within the same font family. So this design that is behind this circle, let us take the circle. So what you need to do is click on position in layers. Just click on the circle here and drag it to where you want it to be. You see, it brings it forward. So I just wanted the circle to be highlighted so that I can move it around like this. So let's lock this again so that we can move that circle behind around easily. So click position again, click our circle. Then we can increase the size like this. Okay, I think this is fantastic. So that everything is already coming together finally. So swipe for more. We'll just put this here and we can make this bold so that it is visible to the eye. Another thing we can do here is to change the color here. We can use this. So let's see another shade of green that we can use here, because our text is really bright. So we cannot use a bright background color when we have a bright text. So let's look for something that is in between that can also accommodate our text color. So this works. So another thing you can do, let's go to the text. You can also choose to add an effect to the text. Say, for example, you can choose to add a lift effect. You can see that this has made it more visible. So you can choose to add a shadow. Remember, we spoke about all of this, blur and all of that. I hope you're getting this tutorial because this is very detailed. You can choose to add an outline and all of this. So for this, let's just add a shadow like this. So increase this. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, let us say we want to edit this picture. You can also edit pictures here. All you have to do is go to edit, and there are options to, magic eraser. With this, you can remove anything, any distraction that is in your image. With this, you can grab things. With this, you can grab a text and all of these options. I have a lot of tutorials that speaks about all of this on my page, on the channel. So what we want to do here, say for example, you want to increase the background, the image quality. You can do that here. You can colorize, pixelify, and all of that. So here I want to add shadow. Say you want to add shadows. You come there, click glow, and there are different options that you can use, and you can also change the colors. Say you want it to be white. Let's say white, for example. You can see that this is how it is. You can choose the blur amount. I'll reduce this. Then you can choose the intensity like this. Say for example, we do not have, because we can have this and also have the background. So let me take this out. So let's say for example, this is not here. You can see that this has added some bits of, it has made this image very visible. So again, you can go back to edit, and you can also choose to add an outline. So to do that, click outline. Then you can choose the size, and you can choose the color. I will just stick to white, and you can choose the intensity. So you can see all of this. If you want to add a drop shadow, you can choose the color, the angles, and all of that. This is a curved shadow, page lift, backdrop, and all these effects. I'll make another video where I will only speak about how to edit photos in Canva, because there are lots of amazing features here. So say here we want to add an outline, then I will just reduce the intensity, reduce the size too. So let's increase the intensity back. Yeah. So at times you see all of those outlines and you're wondering, how did they do that? This is how it is done. So let's go back and add our circle to the back of this. So I'll just undo all of this. And here, this is what I have. So say you want to add further edits. So go to edit. There are filters here that you can pick from, And you also have the opportunity to add a blur, autofocus. Like I said, I'll make a separate video explaining all of this. So go to adjust, and when you're adjusting your picture, for example, if there's a picture and there's a background, you can choose to edit only the background, edit only the foreground, and you can choose to edit the whole image. So for this, since we don't have a background, I'll be editing the entire image. So I want to keep this at 0. Let's take this back to 0. And here you can choose to, edit a particular color. So you can see that this only changes the outfit because I want the outfit to pop a bit more. So I think I like this green. Well, let's use this. Yes, this color works for me. And you can choose to change the saturation and all of that. This is a bit too bright. So I think this works. Yes. So you can choose to also, let's change the color of the jeans she's wearing and make it brighter. So this is good to go like this. We can also, play around with the shadows, the saturation, but this will be of the entire image. Yeah, so I think this is perfect. There's also an option to auto adjust, but we'll not be doing that. So here you can face retouch and all of that, which is, let's click on it to see. And what this does is, it's automatically, gives you the individual portrait, the best feel and all of that. So here it smoothens the skin and all of that, but let's remove this because her skin is already pretty smooth. So this is what we have. You can see our design is looking good already. So next thing I want to do, so remember this is just a simple Instagram post. Say we want to add our contact details, like for example, our Instagram handle, website, and all of that. Go to your elements and search for the icon. So here I will just search Instagram icon. And you can use the brand fetch app to get the Instagram icon. But for this, I will just use this one. Remember, I said we cannot use a black background because it's dark. It's a dark background and this background is already dark. So let's change this to a white color. So I'll just put this here. Let's reduce this a bit. But you know what? Let's change this here. I want one that has detail at the background. So let's see this. I want to change this to this color so that we are maintaining one color wheel. So let's use this color here. We can make this brighter. So let's take this out. Go here, just place it on top like this. You can see that our colors are still within the green family. So what is your Instagram handle? I'll just duplicate this. Let me say my Instagram handle is Love from Sheila. Then I will just reduce the size of this. Just like this. Let's increase this. So you can choose to, have the letter spacing like this. But no, let's just take it back to 0. I think it's perfect at 0. And this is pretty much how you can design a very basic Instagram post. So let me say at Love from Sheila like this. And say I want to also add a website icon. So say I want to say my Instagram and maybe Facebook. So I could just go here and see if there are Facebook icons here. No, we don't have the Facebook icons here. So I'll just search for Facebook icon, and I want to use one that also looks like what we have used before. So let me just search for Facebook on its own. Okay, you know what? Let's use this brand fetch. So you search for Facebook and it will just give you the Facebook logo. So I want to use this one, and I will change the color to this color, and this white color, let's leave it as, no, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. So let's choose another. Let's use this one. So I'll change the color of this to this shade. Perfect. So just go on here, then just like this, making sure that everything is well aligned. Then this is it. And this is just a very basic post that you can do within how many minutes? So what you can also do, say for example, you want to group all of your elements, just what you should just do is select all of them and click group. This allows you to group. You can duplicate, you can delete, and you can even space them evenly. So with this, you can tidy it up. You can see that it has helped us space our elements evenly. You can do every of all these other options, but for a beginner, this is perfectly what you need to know. So let's say I want to just put it here. And when you're designing, you need to make sure that, everything is well aligned. And you can see this is a very basic yet clean design that we have done in how many minutes. So one thing you can see from this design is that everything is in alignment. Say for example, you don't want to, let's say we have this design and it's at the center. You can see that it doesn't make any sense because it is overlapping this image and it's not just looking good. So if, for example, we want to put this image at this text at the, other end of it, you need to move this image around. So it will be like this. Can you see? Because there's a thing about white balance. You need to make sure that there's white space. So let's say we want to have it like this. So let's choose our circle behind. So say we want to have it like this, you need to make sure that there's a bit of white balance, not that you put your text here and you put it on top of the, subject. No, you need to make sure that everything is breathing. So let's move this here. Then I'll move this here too. Or what we can just do, remember I said you can also group. So I'll just select this and just group this together so that when it moves, we move everything together like this. Then I'll move this too, because remember I said we don't want all of this overlapping. So to just come here like this, and I'll just change this. Okay, this is perfect. You can change this to a bold font so that it is bold, and we can move this to the other end of it like this. All depends on you. So you can see that either way you want to do it, if you want it like this or how we had it before, it's all up to you. But make sure that your text is not overlapping your design. Make sure that when you're doing your design, when you're cropping, you can see that there's enough space I'm leaving. Don't do this. This is wrong. You don't leave your designs like this. Why do you have your designs like this? It is not nice like this. It is badly cropped. You should make sure that you crop your design perfectly and everything is looking perfect. Now go ahead and create your first design. See you in my next video where I speak about how to edit videos using Canva. Don't forget to subscribe. Toodles.